You are listening to WHCM 88.3 FM, Palatine, Illinois, a broadcast station of Harper College and its Board of Trustees. It is time for Streaming Verse with Nina, Chris, and the Board Master Caroline here. And we are getting ready to have an exciting show, and we want to make sure you're prepared for it, okay? So how can you get prepared? Well, first of all, listen. So Star, you've done that already. So you're either listening on 88.3 FM in the local Palatine area, or maybe you're decided to tune in via harperradio.com. But you can also join the chat by going over to YouTube, look for YouTube Live, and look for the Harper Radio channel, where you can join in the conversation. Tell us what you've been streaming. And just a reminder, the thoughts and ideas on the show are our own and not necessarily reflective of the opinions of WHCM Harper College or its Board of Trustees. Woo! I feel like I did that very well for
that was great.
Ever.
No, that was really great.
Like, who am I right now?
You're Chris from Streaming Verse.
Well, Nina, what have you been streaming?
So this is very exciting, as I saw this in theaters twice and wanted to go back every single day after, but I streamed Eternity, which is on Apple TV Plus. After the first time watching it, I'm a very weird person when it comes to rating things that I like. Mm-hmm. Once I was asked, and again, I'm 23, I had to think about that. But so when Frozen came out in 2013, I was like older-ish.
Right.
Like I was conscious. Someone asked me if I liked Anna or Elsa better, and I started crying because I felt bad. I can't choose. But I immediately, on my Letterboxd account, which by the way, if you are not following Streaming Verse on Letterboxd, I work very hard to make some weird lists. So we are at streaming_verse. Check us out on Letterboxd. Anyways, I immediately knocked one of my top 4 movies off. Ooh. And put that one in, which says a lot because I am the most indecisive person next to my friend Susanna on this planet. She wins. Sorry, girl. But basically the movie is about, you have to pick one eternity realm, which is like your afterlife, to live in 1 week after you die, which I think...
Yeah, you have 7 days to decide. That's quick.
Which is like actually... sounds like the worst thing that could ever happen to me. Making a decision, knowing that you can't do anything about it. Making decisions are very difficult for me. We've just gone over this. So you have to pick after 7 days. And basically it's about a woman, Elizabeth Olsen, a big reason why I think I enjoyed the film as much as I did. She is welcomed in the afterlife by the man she built a life with for 67 years. Yes, I said 67. And her husband, who died in the Korean War. And I think it's like the perfect mixture of everything. It's like emotional, it's funny, it's darkly comedic, I'm obsessed with it. I think it's the perfect rom-com ever, actually.
It's really good, and it's well made, really and also, of course, it's very deep and meaningful, and
yeah,
and lets you know that decisions are hard. Basically, it shows how hard decisions are
hard. And I think I'm not a big fan of Miles Teller at all. In fact, if he wasn't in this movie, I think it would be 10 times better. But I think everyone else in the movie was amazing. I can't remember their names, but the afterlife coordinators, I know you really like...
Divine
and the guy.
Oh, I don't know his name.
But you
though.
like him.
I love him.
because we saw it together in theaters,
Yeah.
and when he came out, you're like, oh, I love this guy. And I was like, yeah, he's awesome.
That's why I said to watch Search Party, which is on Netflix, because he's in it.
Yes. This just came out on Apple TV Plus the 13th of February, and this is like there's very few things that I kind of like have seen in theaters and then I'm like counting down until it's on streaming, and I feel like this for sure was. It's definitely a comfort movie.
You 100% were, because I remember
Yeah.
when we saw it in the theater, you're like, this is going to be February. Like, you knew then. Like, I don't know
Which
when
is
we saw it, but
ridiculous.
yeah, you were
Well,
ready.
Because I've looked into the writers. I've messaged them on Instagram being like, hey, maybe do you want to like go get a cup of coffee, like, and talk about screenwriting and the film? And like, they haven't responded to me, but like every time they post, I'm like, oh yeah, my close personal friend, like I think his name is Patrick. I don't even know. But yeah, I love that movie, and it's now streaming, so if you haven't seen it, definitely go watch it. Not with your grandparents though. They're not a fan.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
What have you been streaming, Chris?
before we get into that, we've actually have some
Oh, my
listeners,
goodness. Hello.
viewers who are more than willing to share what they've been streaming. So, Erin, our super fan, has shared that she has been watching the Olympics.
Same.
Especially speed skating, which she does, a
course.
short track. Did anyone else watch my teammates? She's
Oh.
also been watching The Pit on HBO Max. And
Yes.
then Nick, my child,
Woo.
has been a couple of audiobooks.
Okay.
Anna Karenina and Sing Unburied. That's what it says, right? Oh, Sing Unburied Sing.
When you said Sing, I was like, the amazing animated with Scarlett Johansson as a porcupine. Okay, Nick, you streamed that twice. All right. No, I don't know. I'm not familiar.
But that's what it says, though, right?
Yes,
'Cause
it
it's,
is.
It's kind of dark and far away right now. Sing Unburied Sing. So go audiobooks. I am
Let's
so
go.
pro audiobooks.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm pro using all of them at the same time.
Same.
But
Me too.
I swear. And then your mom, Karina, jumped in and said, loved it. And I'm guessing that would be Eternity.
Yes, Eternity.
Yes. I have been streaming a lot of things, but I basically binge watched How to Get to Heaven from Belfast.
Oh.
It is I'm hoping it's probably just a miniseries or limited. It didn't say that, though. I would be very happy with the season 2, but it doesn't necessarily call for it. It's on Netflix, and it's by the same creator as Dairy Girls. So it's
Okay.
set in Ireland, obviously with the Belfast. That might have given that away.
Yeah.
Lisa McGee. And I really enjoyed it. I don't know if it's because I enjoy Irish humor for some weird reason. Like, because it's just kind of dry. It's, how do I say this? Like, I am not a big fan of the absurd comedy sometimes, because I think they go way over the top sometimes, and I can't watch a lot
like
of it.
this, like the stupid comedy,
Yes.
like Blades of Glory,
No, I like Blades of Glory because they don't go, but they do go a little too far.
like Dumb and Dumber.
Yes.
Okay, yeah,
Dumb and Dumber
sure.
can't do Dumb and Dumber. I feel like Europe has a different version of absurd comedies
They
to a
do.
degree.
It's very dry.
Very dry, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
Which I really enjoy. So I would definitely highly recommend How to Get to Heaven from Belfast. I think it was 8 episodes. And yeah, I'm done. And of course, the accents aren't too bad for everybody.
Nice.
Which we really have to talk about that when the other movie we saw comes on streaming. Because speaking of accents.
Oh yeah. Right. I know what you're saying now. I'm still in. That's a conversation for a different time. It's
Yeah.
not streaming. So like Aaron, I have been watching the Olympics, but I find that the races stress me out too much. Like skiing, when they're like plus, 0.28, I'm like, this is too close. Bobsledding is terrifying. So I can't do it. I can't watch races because I'm like, I can't imagine like doing that and then like being so like 1/10 of a second and that's it.
Yeah.
Like you're not even on the podium. Like that would kill me. I can't. So instead, I've been watching figure skating. And now I feel like this happens every Olympics, summer and winter. I get super into one sport, and then I know, like, I go deep into the athletes. So, like, at this point, my close personal friends, Alyssa Liu and Amber Glenn, I feel like I know way too much about them. Because, of course, you know, I've seen them on social media. Like, I've seen their interviews. I've read their art. It's ridiculous. But Alyssa Liu just won gold, and I'm so excited. We literally, my mom and I went out to dinner with my grandparents like a couple hours ago, and I didn't plan on watching it. We watch their routines like later, like at the Olympic late night or whatever.
Okay,
we watch the
gotcha.
replay. And I was like, okay, I'm excited after the radio show. I literally wrote down here, no spoilers. I'm watching it tonight. And then we sit down and I see it. They were doing the last person before her, like the scoring. And I was like,
no.
please, please, please. Because I saw she was in the winner's, like, the seat. And I was like, please. And I was like, yes. So, Alyssa Liu, I'm so excited. Also, I cried myself to bed the other night after Amber Glenn's short skate because she did the most because she's the first openly queer American figure skater.
Okay.
And she's amazing. Close personal friend, right? And
Well, all the queer people are community, so
we all know each other.
Right,
if
exactly.
You didn't know. No, so she did the most beautiful triple axel, which is like, I know these things now, okay?
Right.
And I'm convinced that I can do them as well. Like
you danced. You got this.
they're not similar. I was teaching class the other day, and they were like, "Yeah, we want to learn how to do an axel." And I'm like, "I can do an axel." No, I cannot, because they do it on the ground. I'm getting off topic. Anyways, she did the most beautiful triple axel, and then she was supposed to do like a triple something else, and she only did a double. And then she was crying, and she got off the ice, and she hugged her coach, and she goes, I had it. And I was like, oh my God, you did have it. Like, she. Anyways, yeah, Madison Chalk and Evan Bates, I'm obsessed with them. I love them. Madison Chalk was rage baiting Elmo with Rocco, my favorite lore in the universe. I love Rocco. And she put him in a little ice skate and was like, how about this for your skating partner, Elmo? And Elmo was like, no. And it was amazing. So anyway, yeah, I've been watching the Olympics.
Okay.
Please.
All right.
Tell me to stop talking. What else have you been streaming, Chris?
Well, in sticking with watching things on Netflix, which I don't know, I was really thinking about this. The Lincoln Lawyer, which I believe I recommended it to your parents. Mm-hmm. It's on season 4, and it's really kind of a great show, in my opinion, in terms of, I think it applies to like many people is like, even if it's just your background show, but it builds on both the character dynamics and the case that they're doing. And they basically do one case for a whole season.
Interesting.
But they're building on the characters, and I think I talked to you about this, I'm not sure, where it's like he's still friends with both his ex-wives.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's the other thing, is like there's no bad people. I think it all, you know what I mean, in terms of, you know, the marriages and stuff like that.
Sure.
And even like the ex-wives, no one goes, well, you did this, or yeah, you were like this. It's just like, yeah, it just didn't work out. Like, that's just the way it goes.
Love it.
Obviously, they're bad people because there's a bad guy.
Right.
Because there's always a criminal and legal, because it's obviously about lawyers. But in general, like the cast itself, there isn't necessarily infighting among them or things like that, which I always appreciate. Like, I don't need any extra drama. I don't need someone who's just doing horrible things just to do horrible things for no reason, just to drive some plot point somewhere. 100%. You know, I want the bad guy to drive the plot point.
Yeah.
So I highly recommend The Lincoln Lawyer, even if you're just looking for something casual, chill, and, you know, won't stress you out.
I love it. I love it. Awesome. I think it's time.
It is time. We probably should read. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure.
A couple of PSAs here. What's been happening at Harper College? And while you're looking for one, just to remind everyone, you are listening to WHCM 88.3 FM, Palatine, Illinois, a broadcast station of Harper College and its Board of Trustees.
Did you know that Harper College has its very own... my God, I can't hold it. I'm sorry. Take two. Did you know that Harper College has its very own e-gaming room featuring 70-inch TVs, gaming PCs, PlayStation 4, and Nintendo Switch consoles? Harper's state-of-the-art facility has everything to meet your gaming needs. This dedicated e-gaming room is available to all current Harper College students with an active free student membership at the Health and Recreation Center. Don't forget to test the comfort of the lounge seating and other amenities like tabletop tennis and air hockey. Video games and board games are also available for checkout. Head on down to the Harper College e-gaming room in Building M, room 1201, and let it be your home for entertainment. For more information, visit harpercollege.edu/campusrec. That was so long, and I don't think I took a breath
I
more
don't
than
think
once.
you did either. You were just like, there's more.
My God, that
I
was,
can't believe there's even more. Hold on.
that was awful. I did not like that. Okay, anyways.
All right, so Health and Recreation Center. If you're a Harper student, you already have free access to one of the finest training centers around. Come visit the Health and Recreation Center on Harper College campus in Building M. This facility contains many options, including a bustling fitness center for weightlifting, cardio, and much more. In the field house, you'll find 4 courts for any game from basketball to pickleball and an elevated track and equipment rental. Don't forget the Aquatic Center, which features a 6-lane pool with designated open lap.
You got it.
You would think I don't ever talk about open lap times, which features a 6-lane pool with designated open lap swim times and family swim availability. They also offer regular fitness programs and intramural league sports. There's a lot to do at the Health and Recreation Center. Why don't you visit? For more information, visit harpercollege.edu/campusrec. That's CAMPUSREC.
Very nice. Quick reminder before we get back to the show, the thoughts and ideas
Presented on this show.
Thank you. Aren't necessarily representative of Harper.
The opinions of WHCM, Harper College, or its Board of Trustees.
There's not enough oxygen to my brain after that. Oh boy.
Yeah, you're holding your breath way too long and reading all that.
Kind of want to watch the video back just to see if I turn red. Because probably.
Yeah, that might be happening. Yeah.
Oh well.
Okay.
All right. Well, would you like to introduce our topic, Chris?
Yeah, hold on. I just erased something.
Okay.
Okay. Our topic, shockingly, is about what you can't stream.
Woo.
There's always been like this shock to me about things I can't stream and why. And let's back up for a minute. I didn't even tell you this, Nina.
Okay.
I think what this comes from is not that we've always had everything we've ever wanted, right? At our okay, you have.
I'm kidding.
But meaning, no, you actually haven't in your lifetime, because like streaming wasn't exactly what it is now when you were like 5.
Yeah, but I wasn't conscious.
Yeah,
like-
but you had to wait probably for your parents to pop the DVD in the player before you could watch your show.
Oh God.
You had to wait like 3 minutes.
Yeah, that's
torture. But before now, before the now times, if you couldn't see something, you could probably buy the DVD.
Right.
But we're getting to the point where they're not even producing the DVDs anymore.
Yeah.
Some content is only available streaming and it's not available on DVDs, but there is content that is not available on streaming and they're not releasing DVDs. Like you can't even find it on Amazon. Like
Yep.
you find everything on Amazon. So it really got me thinking, and like I think it makes you feel more like connection to what you're losing when you want to watch something. You're like, but I don't have any avenue to find this. Because at least
100%.
at one point you could probably buy a DVD of something or
Right.
the VHS of something.
Or rent the DVD from your library,
Right.
but can't do that.
But it's different now. Yeah. So
Yeah.
there's multiple things that you can't find. And what started me on this and this is actually changed now. So I'm going to start off with this show first before we go into it deeper. But when I decided I wanted to watch Northern Exposure, which was a series like in the late 80s, early 90s, that you couldn't stream anywhere. You can now. But you couldn't at the time. The only way to get it was to buy the DVDs of like all the seasons,
Right.
which was excessive.
Yeah.
And in the past year or year and a half, it is now available on streaming on Prime. But it's because they went through and got all the music licenses for all the songs they played.
Interesting.
And I'm going to go into this more later, but basically how I have figured out what happened is before the 80s, if you had music in a sitcom, it was just the playing in and out. You didn't necessarily have songs as part of a
Sure.
sitcom. Like, we don't think of like even, let's just say the Golden Girls, even though that was in the 80s, they would just play those little intro in and out of stuff. Or you had the theme song, which
Right.
in most cases you have the licensing for. But in the 80s, they started putting popular songs in and getting the rights to stream, to not only put those on a DVD, that's one set of
Sure.
licensing, then there's the streaming.
Right.
So that's why Northern Exposure took forever, and the creator did not want, even though it is changed even in the DVDs, like that was
Yeah.
part of what it took so long, is to get the right songs. It was crazy. Crazy.
Interesting. That I had a similar experience when I wanted to watch Private Practice for the first time. Of course, now you can stream it, but I remember looking at libraries, wasn't available to stream anywhere. I had to go to Barnes and Noble to buy the DVDs,
Right.
which luckily the DVDs were available, but that's expensive. And for a show that I had never seen before that I didn't know if I would like,
And you'd probably just watch once.
that's a lot.
Yeah.
Albeit I did end up loving it, and I knew I would because Amelia Shepherd was in it. But yeah, explain this to me. How come a HBO original limited series is nowhere to be found? Not on HBO Max, not on any streaming service. It's called Miss Fletcher, and it stars Kathryn Hahn. I've been looking for this for so long. You cannot buy it on DVD because there was never a DVD
Right.
because it's an HBO original. It's one season. It's a mini series. It was done in 2019. It was removed from HBO Max in August of 2022. Apparently, it was part of a cost-cutting initiative to reduce content, manage debt, and take advantage of tax write-downs because of the merger. But
Does it even exist anymore?
exactly.
Because sometimes, and I just know this from business, so I used to work for a company, and like when you had old laptops, old things, you would throw it in this bin and it got written off. So it no longer existed. Like, it had to be destroyed. And I
So-
think that works with creative content as well.
No.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, listen.
No, I'm not saying that's what happened with this. I'm just saying it's a possibility.
Okay.
Not in this situation. I'm just talking big scope.
No,
Okay.
I understand.
Okay.
I know what you're
I
saying.
don't want you to get upset and scared.
No, I'm just saying that, like, in a lot of contracts, at least that I've been handed for,
Right.
like, school projects, school films and stuff, it's always, well, especially because you don't get paid, they're like, you get credit, a copy, and another C. That means, like, lunch, cuisine.
Okay.
You get the 3 C's, you know? But if that was released in 2019, I have very high doubts that it's just disappeared,
Right.
especially with someone like Kathryn Hahn in the lead, who, by the way, plays a bisexual woman. And it is compared to the new show Dying for Sex, which I've been wanting to
I've heard-
watch as
I've heard
well.
about that
I think that was Emmy nominated. I don't know if it won anything. I don't remember. I haven't seen it, but I have researched this to high heaven because I love Catherine Hahn. I want to watch what she's in. I want to watch the show, and I never saw it the first time, and it's literally just gone. I can't even use a VPN to like another country's streaming service. Like, it's nowhere.
That's crazy.
So yeah, it makes me scared that like, where is this? But if it's in the I'm gonna have to find the contract, because if it's in the contract, that would mean that everyone who worked on the show got a copy of it, theoretically.
Yeah, right.
Now, it's probably a link to like a passworded website,
Right.
like a Vimeo type situation, but still. So, okay, I'm talking through this now. I could email like a PA
Yeah.
if I get and be like, hey, listen. No, that's probably like NDA. Like, they can't say anything about it.
Well, and the thing about that also comes into this is 2019, we were streaming everything all the time. So
Yeah.
more than likely, there's also an element, like you said, where it isn't destroyed because of streaming. But where I'm talking about that, like in some cases, is before all these streaming contracts, before we were
100%.
streaming all the time, things could just be gone.
And that's
You know,
terrifying.
especially if they wrote it off business-wise. And again, it doesn't mean that someone didn't save a copy. I'm not saying that
Yeah.
it really is gone. I'm just saying it's like,
That's like when someone at Pixar accidentally deleted the entirety of Toy Story. Where is the Toy Story? Yeah, and it was like, it was gone. Like, they lost everything.
Yeah.
And someone had brought it home to work on it, and it was like the first time anyone was like bringing it home and like
Right,
working on it.
right.
And so they saved the movie. But yeah, like, it's so crazy to think that like all of that hard work could just like disappear.
Be gone.
And you'd think that, oh, you know, it's in the cloud, but I don't. How much faith do you have in the cloud? Like,
Right.
scary.
Yeah, I actually was at part of a project at McDonald's Corporation when I worked there,
Okay.
where we were developing a new platform for all of the McDonald's to be able to communicate with each other because, McDonald's are either owned by McDonald's or it's owned by a franchisee, so they're not
Yeah.
necessarily connected. All the software that was developed was gone because they canceled the project. Everything had to go. Like, everything doesn't exist anymore type thing. So that's why it's like I've seen it with software, not necessarily in the movies like or TV,
Yeah.
but it definitely, when it comes to intellectual property and things like that, they can go, no, you have to write it all off, therefore it doesn't exist anymore.
That's terrifying. I don't like that.
All right, so I talked about Northern Exposure. I have a big reveal here, and I don't know when I want to share my big reveal of like something I really dove into. But there's another show that's fairly popular that a lot of people want to see again, me included. It's called 30 Something. It ran from 1987 to 1991. While I did not identify with the 30 somethings at the time, it was a really good show, and it was had some great writing. It is nowhere because of the music rights, because they used, again, like I was talking about with Dogma, and that it's one of the main things where a lot of people who like have this nostalgia, but what happened is that like some of the newer shows, I think it was just this boom. I've been thinking about this where it's like, oh, we can use music. We can get rights for this stuff. Let's do this. Let's not just use the same old tire,
Yeah.
soap opera type music, do, do, do. So they went kind of crazy and they can't reuse it. And there's a lot of people who complain about stuff where it's like, but this scene, I remember it with this song and I want to see it that way. In fact, when I was researching for this, I was reading about Veronica Mars, and there's some episode where a different song is used, but everyone, the marshmallows, as we're called, in that world is so excited because the first kiss with her and Logan still has the same song.
Oh my God.
Which is like, speaking of that, and by the way, I liked it for us. I voted on it from our social media on Instagram. Kristen Bell went online and said, should we have a Veronica Mars watch party on Netflix?
Oh,
so
my
I have
God.
voted, and we have voted yes for that. I don't.
Amazing.
I have to go back and check, but I'm like, yes, please, Kristen. I would love to have a watch party with you and watch
Yeah.
Veronica Mars.
That's awesome. That's crazy. I have something kind of interesting the connection to the rights is interesting, but I've met people where it's their literal job to go through shows like Euphoria, like they work for HBO Max, and their job is to pretty much like clean it. So like Sopranos, for example, is on HBO Max, right? Right, apparently.
It was,
I
yes.
wouldn't know.
Yeah.
You can never ever watch the original Sopranos ever on that platform because this guy's job is to go through every frame and clean the frame and make it like 4K essentially.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're going through and taking all of the footage, and I believe Euphoria was filmed on film.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
I think. Maybe I'm making this up. But it's his entire job, so like it's for restoration purposes, but
Right.
you'll never go back and see the original version of Sopranos, which it's the same thing, it's just like visually better, but that's so interesting to me because I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah, technically it's different. You're right.
Yeah.
You're going to notice different things even in it.
100%.
Because of that.
I thought that was interesting, but my main beef is that you can't stream the old Barbie movies. And I'm not talking about like Barbie, like Margot Robbie and
Right.
The Man. I'm talking about like Barbie of Swan Lake, The Princess and the Pauper. Like those movies are so good and I need them. I think I still have a bunch of the DVDs, but I don't think I have a DVD player anymore. So they need to be streaming somewhere. I don't know why they're not. I think I figured it out just now. A lot of them are public domain. They like do like Swan Lake and
Oh, okay.
I'm guessing that's public domain, Princess and the Pauper, but maybe they're not all public domain stories that they're doing.
Could
I'm
be,
not sure.
yeah. Interesting. You're listening to WHCM 88.3 FM, Palatine, Illinois, a broadcast station of Harper College and its Board of Trustees. The thoughts and ideas presented on the show are our own and not necessarily reflective of the opinions of WHCM, Harper College, or its Board of Trustees. This is Streaming Verse with Nina, Chris, and the Boardmaster Caroline, and we are talking about what you can't stream and why, at least from what we've figured out. If there's something you want to stream that you can't and you're frustrated about it, let us know what that is, and maybe we can touch on some of the reasons for that one too. Go to YouTube Live and look for the Harper Radio channel. Okay, so back into like kid stuff.
Yeah.
Another one in that realm, and I already knew about this because this was big when my son was young, The Brave Little Toaster.
That's on my list. That is on my list. I loved that movie.
I know. So on Disney Plus, you can watch all the sequels,
but I want the
not
original.
the original Brave Little Toaster. And it's because Hyperion Pictures is the owner of that. Even though Disney probably distributed it, they still own all the rights.
Okay, sure.
So I'm beginning to wonder, like when I was going through all of this, there also seems to be a fraction of like who owns the rights to it. And there has to be a degree of interest, like how much would they be able to, how much money are they going to be able to make if they did get the rights to it?
Right.
So that's part of it, you know, licensing gaps. And the other thing is, and this part of the thing you were talking about, is digital restoration. Because now with everyone having 4K TVs, they don't want to take something like the Brave Little Toaster without restoring it. So how much is it going to cost to restore it? How much is it going to cost to get the rights?
Yeah.
You know, because a lot of times with like actually the phrase murky distribution rights, there's a lot of stuff like that going on where it's like, well, where, who's,
Yeah.
how, and unless someone is uniquely interested, there's not a lot of drive. Although, again, there's not a person I know. I mean, I was so happy when you said you were looking for Brave Little Toaster because it's
Yeah.
like, I know so many people, like, I loved Brave Little Toaster.
Yeah, I think it's whoever came up with that concept, like, you're amazing. You're amazing. Going right along with the kids stuff, this is something that I never watched. I believe I was not born yet. But I'm a big Muppet fan. And Muppet Babies, not the new one,
yeah, the
but
Muppet
the
Babies.
old one is nowhere to be seen, which is strange because, you know, Disney owns the Muppets. They don't own the Henson Productions, which is so weird. They just own the Muppets. But you'd think, okay, well, they rebooted Muppet Babies. Like, there is a new Muppet Babies that is on Disney Plus. But apparently, because I've never seen it, but I would have loved to seen it. Like, I've seen clips and it's adorable. Apparently, they used a lot of copyrighted clips from the 80s. Like, they'd just take clips of Temple of Doom, Indiana Jones, and Star Wars, which again doesn't make much sense to me because Disney owns that as well.
Right.
So what's going on? But the rights, like, they just apparently don't have it, and I'm sure there's more 1980s films that are not owned by Disney, but it's kind of hard to come by now. Disney owns everything. But also music being the reason.
It's crazy with the music.
It's interesting too, because you'd think that like the music industry and the film industry are there's ties, you know?
Yeah.
And because they're kind of like right next to each other for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't, well, because if the song is not made for like a film or a TV show, that's when things get tricky,
Yes.
especially when production companies not always are the ones distributing the films. Typically, it used to be like separate. Like someone would produce the film and then a different company would distribute it.
Mm-hmm.
But now, like, giant monopolies like Disney exist, and they're like, no, we'll do everything for it. We'll do pre-production, post-production, and distribute it. And then the music, you're just involving another person, and nobody knows how to communicate anymore.
Right. And who owns it? Because you could call someone up and go, hey,
Yeah.
I want the rights to this. Oh, we don't have that. Who does? I don't know.
No, literally. And because at this point, too, like, literally who owns it? It's families. Because, like, Jim Henson is no longer with us.
Right.
Who took over that, and what are they going to do with his stuff? Like, I remember that being a big conversation when he passed away. Like, what are you guys going to do?
Yeah.
And they could just be like, no, I'm not giving you this just because I don't want
Just
to.
because I don't want to.
Yeah,
Right.
even though we worked together for, you know, a million years, I don't feel like it.
Yep. So here's my drama.
Okay.
Here's the streaming drama. I actually know a lot about this because I'm a huge Kevin Smith fan.
Yes.
And I've been actually watching this unfold. He made this movie in 1999 called Dogma,
Right.
which had its own issues, but we're not going to talk about that. But it's a great movie. Love it. And I actually own it on DVD, so I was never really as concerned as other people
Right.
that it was not available for streaming for like a couple decades.
Wow.
Yeah. So this, again, came out in 1999, and it was Miramax, blah, blah, blah. Well, the ownership went to Harvey Weinstein.
Oh.
So he was the owner of this movie. Well, for years, Kevin Smith would call him, hey, Harvey, let's do something with this. It's the 10th anniversary. It's the 20th anniversary. Let's do something with this. Yeah, nope. He was not on board, right? He's like, or didn't return phone calls. He wanted nothing, like, he just ignored Kevin Smith about this. And so basically, because of one human being who didn't want to, this movie, and again, it's hugely popular for Kevin Smith fans. It's not
Sure.
necessarily hugely popular money-wise, because at one point, I guess that he said, yeah, for $5 million. Well, Kevin Smith didn't have $5 million, you know, and was it going to be worth it? Would he make that much money? I mean, it cost like 10, 15 million to make in 1999. So it was going back and forth. But here's some interesting things. I just wanted to share this because this is fascinating. So in 2017, Weinstein called Kevin and said, hey, yeah, let's do something with this. What do you think? And Kevin's like, yeah, that'd be great. That's wonderful. Let's do something with this.
Mm-hmm.
But then he never called him back. A week later is when the Me Too stories came out, the New York Times. Harvey was calling to see if Kevin was if he was a source for the story. It's the only reason he called him. So Kevin got duped on that one.
Oh.
Yeah.
My
Isn't
God.
that fascinating? Like, he was only calling to see who his sources were, so that was the ruse that he used to call Kevin Smith. So now, let's fast forward a little bit. I don't know exactly the details on how this all got worked out, but yes, the rights came back, and I'm not sure who actually owns the right, if it's Kevin, if it's a studio, or how they came back. And it has been digitalized, and it's now 4K.
Nice.
So it's now 4K, and this is really interesting too when we're talking about streaming and how streaming works. So it went to the theaters last year, and then DVD sales started in December. And right now, if you want to stream it, you can only buy it. You cannot rent it. It's not on any platform. But this is also probably an evolution,
Sure.
which makes sense. Like, it was in the theaters, then it's DVD. So it's almost like a
Right.
new release, but it isn't. Because I checked, I could buy it online to stream it, but I can't rent it yet. So I'm hoping that it means soon we'll have it where it's on streaming services and
Yeah.
whatnot. And there's actually talk of making another Dogma too, which
Nice.
of course I'm excited about as a
That's-
huge Kevin Smith fan. Yeah. But isn't that, I mean, it's just one person just held this. So
Yeah.
think of all the things. Again, if there's not interest, you're not going to get someone to give up the rights, or, there might be not enough money to do it.
That's insane.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, it's crazy. And it also makes me think, because a lot of people blamed men who knew Harvey Weinstein. It's like, why didn't you do something? And I didn't know about the story until recently. I knew, and I'm talking recently in the past 4 years, like not necessarily just for research. I've known about this story. But how he wasn't that close with Harvey Weinstein if he wasn't calling him back about something. I mean, he was
Right.
at the beginning, but that's when he was younger. That's when he was like more focused on getting stuff out versus sitting back and being able to view. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
with age comes wisdom, and it's not necessarily aging in terms of an old person, but how long you've been around is the more you can pay attention to the bigger picture. And it really just made me say, well, if Harvey wouldn't even give him the rights to this or let this go, they couldn't have been that close for a very long
Yeah,
time.
no.
So
Exactly. Wow. The last thing I'm going to say I had never heard of until recently, and I think it's hysterical because of the sheer amount of biopics that exist, which is, might I say, too many. I'm not going to get started about biopics, but there is a biopic about Bob Fosse. Okay? Of course there is, right?
yeah.
It's called All That Jazz. Not shocking. The the shocking part is that he co-wrote it and directed it and starred in it, which I think is really awesome. And I feel like that's something Lin-Manuel Miranda would do in the future.
Yes.
I love Lin-Manuel Miranda, and I don't mean to say he would do that from any egotistical standpoint. I don't think he's like that at all. I genuinely just think he'd be like, I can tell my story better than anyone else.
Yes, yeah.
But I think it's kind of iconic. You cannot stream this anywhere unless you want to go on, archive internet, which is I'm pretty sure technically the dark web at this point. I don't even know, but it's from the 70s, I believe, and so a lot of people are speculating that it's not streaming because it's older. And then there's this whole argument of HBO Max has The Wizard of Oz and stuff like that. Like those are some classic older movies.
Right.
There's classic older movies everywhere that they're not restored, a lot of them. I'm sure The Wizard of Oz, someone took the time, because that's, I don't know why it is, but because it's frankly kind of scary. But the scarecrows really freaks me. Sometimes I'll just have that random image pop in my head of the scarecrow from The Wizard of Oz, and it scares me because
Scarecrow?
the scarecrow, he's terrifying. I just watched it for the first time last
I
year.
know.
So
Yeah.
he's really he jump scared me. I was watching it at night, and I was genuinely like, I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared to go to sleep right now. But yeah, that's the argument. I want to stream it because I think that's hysterical that he would do that.
Oh, that just was big. I don't remember anything about it, but I remember seeing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's 1978, 79. I mean, Bob Fosse's, like, if you've ever danced a day in your life or watched a dance or, like, musical theater, you know who he is. So I think that's interesting.
Yeah, it is really, like I said, it's interesting because really it's just a lack of interest at the end of the day, that because even with the music rights, like, so the movie Mask was a big hit in 1985, but again, it was all Bruce Springsteen music. He had a falling out with Universal Studios.
There it is.
So now they can't do it. And in some cases, they've redone it with Bob Seger music. But then it becomes an artistic thing because the creator's like, no, the director was like, it's supposed to be Bruce Springsteen because, and I'm just making this up, the character loved Bruce Springsteen. I don't know that for a fact, but it's things like that. And then I also found another one. It's called, and I knew about this one too, Heavenly Creatures. It's with Kate Winslet and Melanie Linsky, and it's a horrific story. It's a true story about two friends who plot to kill each other's mothers, and one, they end up going. They had to be separated, like because of, like they both went to jail and were separated. They were never supposed to talk to each other again. But that was on Netflix at one point. But now it's nowhere to be found. And again, this has to do with the distribution rights, digital restoration, and licensing gaps. But it's like, but why? It was on Netflix. What did you do with it that it's no longer on Netflix anymore?
What happened?
And anywhere, like it's gone.
Right.
So it almost makes me wonder if like somebody bought it from the time it was on, because I mean, Netflix has been around for couple decades at least.
Yeah, I mean it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it was with the DVDs, but even streaming, I know for sure you could stream 10 years ago. You know what I mean? Over 10 years ago. So anyway, so it's just interesting. It's like, where did it go?
Yeah.
Who bought it?
That it makes you think of like a private entity. Like if like I were like a millionaire and I just decided I really want to gatekeep this show and I never want anyone to see it again. If I could just like buy Friends. Oh
my God. It's almost the equivalent of like someone buying a painting and leaving it in their house so no one else can see it. It's like, this is mine.
Or like the guy at that, I'm sure this has happened multiple times, but like at that auction, like bought the painting and then like shredded it in front of everyone. Do you remember that?
Yep.
That's the equivalent.
Yep.
Let us watch it. Let us enjoy the painting.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I actually think that's about it. We did good today.
We did pretty good.
You have been listening to Streaming Verse here on WHCM 88.3 FM, Palatine, Illinois, a broadcast station of Harper College and its Board of Trustees. Many of the thoughts and ideas on the show are our own and not necessarily reflective of the opinions of WHCM Harper College or its Board of Trustees. Is it coming up there, Caroline? Okay. I'm like, I don't have any positive thoughts. Do you have a positive thought for today?
I recently watched, I think, the latest episode of the John Oliver show, and I think it is a positive thought to encourage everyone to watch that. His monologue is absolutely incredible, and it talks about some of the lack thereof qualifications it takes to be a part of certain government organizations.
Oh, that's so. Yeah, I watched his latest show. What was the topic? I forgot.
He was talking about basically how stupid you have to be a part of ICE.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And they keep lowering the requirements.
Yeah, the standards are getting lower and lower and lower and lower. It was very he does, I feel like he does such a good job of being funny, but
I love
like
him so much.
Educating.
Yes. It makes it easier to accept the truth because you're
really
laughing
does.
while it's entering into your system.
It really does. So my positive thought is more of a recommendation. If you're feeling overwhelmed with the news, which if you're paying any attention, which you should be, you should watch John Oliver because it is I feel more delightful way to hear about the demise of our country.
Yes, there you go. That's nice.
Yeah.
Delightful way to understand the demise of our country.
That's it.
Thank you so much for listening to Streaming Verse here on WHCM. You can catch us Mondays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. Keep it tuned to WHCM. Up next, it's Andy's Mixtape.